Welcome back to League on Lock. My name is Eric, and we're doing some power rankings in Korea. And a lot of the teams who played at Rift Rivals for the LCK have come back to the domestic region and struggled a little bit. But luckily for Griffin, they did not go to Rift Rivals, even though they wanted to get a piece of RNG. But week 4, after their week-long break, they still look like an absolute dominant force. The 5 rookies, yet another 2-0 week. They're sitting pretty at 8-1, and deservedly so, coming in atop our power rankings. Their gauntlet run continues. They take down Gen.G and Afrika this week, and it only continues. In week 5, they play Afrika again in back-to-back weeks, KT and Hanwha Life Esports, but they have delivered against the top teams in the LCK so far, and they absolutely deserve the top spot. Gen.G, they lost to Griffin. They still come in at number 2. It took them to 3 games. It was the first 2 games were super back and forth. Game 3, Griffin completely destroyed them, but Gen.G still had a solid week, and really the teams below them faltered, and they are reaping the rewards up to the number 2 spot. Kingzone down a spot solely because they handed Jin Air their second win of the season. Their only other win came against BBQ, so the fact that they were able to take down Kingzone is maybe even worthy of going down more than 1 spot, but definitely a bit of Rift Rivals hangover. They had such an easy week, MVP and Jin Air, and they only managed to go 1-1. So Kingzone down a spot to number 3, and there's a pretty big traffic jam at 6 and 4 in the LCK, and so ranking through those guys a little difficult, especially when they're all playing each other in the span of a week or two. But coming in at number 4, our first 6 and 4 team, you got the likes of KT, who's down a spot because they had a solid week before Rift Rivals coming into it. They were the only undefeated team at Rift Rivals, but then they come back and Hanwha Life takes them down. KT still a spot ahead of Hanwha just because what they've done the rest of the regular season, and the fact that they're the only team that's taken down Griffin is still holding them pretty highly, but they're down to 4, and Hanwha, despite being behind KT, actually moves up a spot because, again, they did take down KT. They also won against SKT this week, and proving they are a legit threat to make playoffs in the summer split. Afrika, tough 0-2 week. They drop a couple of spots down to number 6. They lost to Griffin, and KT took them down. So 6 and 4, you got to still think they're have a very good chance at making playoffs. MVP got to win, so they're going up to number 7. They took down, a low life in the LCK, but they still got more wins than SKT, and SKT dropped the game to Hanwha, which means they are down to that scary 8th place spot. And for SKT, it's looking tough for them to make playoffs. Week 5 is where it's going to be huge for them because they play MVP, KT Rolster, and Hanwha Life. They basically need a 3-0 or at least 2-1 that week to keep any playoff hopes alive. Otherwise, we're not seeing Faker at Worlds, which is a real tragedy. Jin Air got their second win, so they're in at number 9, like I mentioned. And the sad, sad tale of BBQ Olivers, who continue to be winless on the 2018 summer split. And the real question that we need to raise going forward is who is going to get a win first, the BBQ Olivers or H2K out in Europe. Obviously, the competition's a lot harder for BBQ, but H2K just really looks like a rough team in general. So I think BBQ has a better chance of maybe taking down the likes of a Jin Air or MVP when they play them again. But the story in the LCK continues to be Griffin. I know it's a lot harder for them than pretty much any of the other teams to make Worlds. They have to win the split or run the gauntlet. If I'm playing them in the gauntlet, I'd be terrified, and even right now, they might be the favorites to take home the LCK Summer Crown because they've played all the top dogs and they have answered all the questions that have been thrown their way. All right, outplays, misplays, starting with the outplays in the LCK. It comes from Cuvee, top laner for Gen.G, with 3 guys sent to dive him from Hanwha Life Esports. It's not enough to shut him down on the Swain. And Swain top is something we haven't seen that much. He's been in pretty much every other lane, the mid lane, the bot lane. But top lane, we haven't seen it much. But Hanwha comes in. He's going to land the 2-man Demon Eye, flashes away from the Talon. He's just level 6 here. and no ultimates out of the Sejuani, but he's so incredibly tanky for only being level 6. The Aerie takes down the Gragas as well. Not only does he survive a 1v3 dive, but he gets 2 kills in the process. And well, that's not a massive outplay. It's more being Swain and a couple of misplays out of Hanwha Life there. That was an Ogre Ever dive. Ogre Ever. Over Ever. Ever seen a over Eager though? It's pretty scary. Ogres and overs and Evers. That just took up half the show, me bumbling through one word. But, you know, here we are. Cuve, outplay 1v3, grabs 2 kills. Congratulations to him and Genji, who looked great in week 4. The misplay is absolutely fantastic. And luckily for you guys and for me, because I just completely butchered that last line, I don't even need to talk over this one because Papa Smithy's laugh describes the play better.
It's a lot, especially to Cortez and Haru, who don't have any. What the? What is going on, man? I don't even know what to say. What the? He's just having his fun, and now he's gonna die. It doesn't even matter. Core JJ disappears afterwards, and it really doesn't matter. Haru is gonna have to land despite here. You don't really see it there as a little bit of a visual bug comes in, but Juve, at least he has the stopwatch. But look at the damage that Sangyun is putting on. He's out of mana though, but he is gonna be saved by lava.
So obviously a couple things from that clip. In case you didn't catch what the huge misplay was, it was Songwon flash snowballing on a support Nunu and a Kindred going right through a Rive's ultimate. So not only did the snowball do absolutely nothing, but he also teleported away. But is there a more helpless feeling than being a support Nunu in a Jungle Karthus funnel comp where you're 4 levels behind the opposing jungler? You're absolutely useless. Your sole purpose on the game is to be a Blood Boil bot and just follow around the Karthus and consume things for him so that he finishes them up quicker. You see right after that play, he blows his flash, then he gets completely blown up because again, he's 4 levels lower than pretty much anyone else in the game. But the real star of that is, of course, Papa Smithy's laugh, because that's really all you can do at a play like that. I'm not sure what he was hoping to ever accomplish with a flash snowball on a level 7 Nunu, but that's your misplay. Didn't get anything done. Love seeing the funnel comps, though, everybody. That's all the time today for League Unlocked. My name's Eric. Thank you guys very much for watching. See you tomorrow.